The Earth Alliance made their move before sunrise. Without warning, the skies above the moon lit up with energy. Earth's fleet launched a full-scale attack on Zarzul's ship, hoping to catch the ancient warrior off guard. Hundreds of warships fired plasma torpedoes and laser cannons, lighting space like a second sun. For a moment, the command rooms on Earth cheered, but that moment didn't last. Zarzul didn't even move. His ship, shaped like a massive dark blade, hovered silently. Then came the response. A bright red wave exploded outward, cutting through half the fleet in seconds. Ships broke apart like toys. Explosions filled the void. Within moments, Earth had lost thousands of lives. Panic spread across the control centers. People screamed. Generals shouted orders. No one could stop the destruction. And then, everything stopped. A soft voice echoed across every screen, every speaker, every device on Earth. It was Auron. "Stop. You're all making a mistake," he said, calm but firm. His face appeared on the global broadcast. "Zarzul is not your enemy. You're fighting the wrong war." The message froze the chaos. People who had never seen Auron before watched him now. Behind him, the stars glowed. Mira, the AI, stood by his side, her eyes shining with alien code. "I have seen the truth," Aaron continued. "Zarzul fought to protect the galaxy. It was our ancestors who broke the alliance. We betrayed them. And now we are paying the price." Some leaders tried to shut the feed down, but it didn't work. Mira had linked their signal to every major system, using the ancient alien tech Auron had recovered from the hidden space station. "You don't have to believe me," Aaron said. "But look at the sky. Look at what we're facing. You think Zarzul is the greatest threat, but he's not. He's trying to prepare us for something worse." At that moment, he activated the fusion core on his ship. A blinding pulse of energy connected the alien tech with Earth's last defense system. The two forces, human and alien, merged. Aaron felt it. So did Mira. Together, they became something new, something powerful. The feed shifted to a view of Auron's ship now glowing with blue and red energy, the two civilizations blending together. He turned toward Zarzul's ship and flew alone, leaving the wreckage behind. Zarzul waited, silent and still. His ship opened like a massive gate. Auron flew inside. The interior was ancient, built with metals that shimmered like liquid. Statues of long-dead warriors lined the halls. At the center stood Zarzul, taller than any human, with eyes that burned like suns. Auron stepped forward. "I'm not here to fight," he said. Zarzul looked at him for a long time. Then, in a deep voice that echoed in Auron's bones, he said, "Then why are you here, child of Earth?" "To finish what your war started, but not with blood," Aaron answered, "with unity." Zarzul's expression did not change. "They attacked first. They feared me." "They didn't know the truth," Aaron said. "Now they do." For a long time, there was silence. Then Zarzul slowly lowered his weapon, a massive blade of pure energy. "You carry the fire of both worlds now. You understand power and peace. Maybe you are the first worthy human in centuries." Auron nodded. "So, what happens now?" Zarzul turned and walked to a large screen at the center of the room. It showed a star map. One region blinked red, far beyond the known systems. "They are coming," he said. "The real war is not here. It waits in the dark beyond. I was preparing this world, not to rule it, but to test it. If you failed, I would have ended it, but you didn't." Aaron looked at the map. He felt something strange, a pull, as if something on that map was calling to him. "What are they?" he asked. Zarzul replied, "They are older than me, older than your stars. They consume. They twist life into machines. I fought them once, barely survived. If they reach Earth, it will not survive." Aaron understood now. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. "So, we fight them together?" he asked. Zol nodded. "Yes, but not here. We must go to them before they come to us." Mira's voice echoed in Aaron's ear. "Ship systems ready. Coordinates locked." Aaron looked one last time at Earth on the screen. Still scared, still afraid, but still alive. "Tell them the truth," he said to Mira. "Tell them we'll be back." The ship began to move. Stars blurred around them as they jumped into deep space, heading toward a war no one could imagine. Behind them, Earth watched in silence. The ancient warrior and the brave soul were gone, but not forgotten. And in the dark beyond the stars, something had awakened. They called him foolish, mad. Aaron didn't care. While the Earth Council debated, shouted, and argued about what to do next, he made his decision. He would not wait. He would go alone. Late at night, inside a quiet data center beneath New Geneva City, Aaron stood in front of a locked military archive. He had hacked into it once before, when he was 16. Back then, he just wanted answers about his missing parents. Now, he needed a map. A path to the ancient prison asteroid where Zol had been sealed. Somewhere in those old star charts and restricted logs, the coordinates had to be hidden. He tapped on his portable console. Mira, his AI assistant, whispered through his earpiece, 3 firewalls remaining. Breach in 60 seconds. Red lights flickered across the hallway. Security bots were waking up. "Hurry, Mira," Aaron whispered, his hands shaking. Working. 2 firewalls left. A metallic click echoed behind him. Aaron didn't turn. He knew what it was. Patrol bots. "Final firewall breached," Mira said. "Coordinates found. Transferring now." "Good. Let's go." Aaron turned, tossed a flash pulse toward the corridor, and ran. As the bot's sensors overloaded, he dashed into a maintenance tunnel and climbed toward the surface. Alarms rang across the compound. He didn't stop. He couldn't. By dawn, he was already inside an old scout ship hidden in the scrapyards. It was dusty, patched together from old parts. But it could fly. As Mira uploaded the coordinates, Aaron took one last look at Earth. It felt strange. He was leaving everything behind. Family, friends, a planet that never believed him. But in his heart, he knew he had to go. If Zol really had awakened, then no one else would act fast enough. He launched the ship silently. No goodbyes. Hours later, deep in space, Mira spoke again. "We're nearing the asteroid cluster. Gravitational pull is unnatural. Almost. Controlled." The asteroid appeared in the distance. It didn't spin like others. It hovered, almost like it was watching them. As the ship drew near, scanners failed. "Something's interfering," Mira said. "We're flying blind now." "Doesn't matter," Aaron said. "I know we're close." The moment they crossed the asteroid's magnetic field, everything went quiet. Even Mira's voice stopped. Lights flickered. The ship shuddered. Aaron reached for manual controls and landed on a flat surface carved into the rock. The moment his boots touched the ground, a deep hum vibrated through his bones. He looked up and saw the entrance, black stone, ancient symbols glowing softly in purple light. This place wasn't just a prison. It was a tomb. As he stepped inside, the air grew cold. Mira's voice returned suddenly. "I'm detecting life, but only one. It's waiting." Aaron didn't answer. He kept walking. Inside, the walls told a story, painted in alien language, with images he couldn't fully understand. But he recognized the shape. A tall warrior, blades in both hands, fire in his eyes, worlds burning behind him. It was Zol. Suddenly, the symbols lit up brighter. The hallway ahead opened on its own. Aaron felt it. A presence. Something was awake. Something was aware of him. And then, Mira's voice cut out again. "My." Aaron started to speak, but everything went black. No light. No sound, until a whisper came through the darkness. Aaron. He froze. It was impossible. No one should know his name here. No one. You carry their scent, the ones who ran. A giant figure stepped from the shadows. Not a beast, not a ghost, but a warrior. Tarzol stood before him. Massive, armored, glowing with ancient energy. His eyes locked on Aaron like they could see through him. You came, Tarzol said, voice like thunder. Alone. Aaron's knees weakened, but he stood tall. I came to see what you are, he said. Monster, or something more. Tarzol tilted his head, studying him. Then look, child of Earth. Look, and remember. Suddenly, light exploded in Aaron's mind. Memories not his own flooded him. Images of betrayal, of war, of humans standing beside aliens, then stabbing them in the back. Tarzol screaming in rage, galaxies burning. And then silence. When Aaron opened his eyes, he was lying outside the entrance again. His ship's systems flickered back online. Mira returned. Aaron, are you all right? He sat up, breath shaking. He didn't kill me. No, Mira replied. He let you go. Aaron looked back at the dark hallway behind him. He's awake now, he said softly. And Earth has no idea what's coming. The ship floated quietly above the asteroid. Aaron sat in the cockpit, staring at the black surface below. His hands were still trembling. He had walked into the tomb of an ancient alien warrior feared for centuries, and lived to tell about it. But what disturbed him most wasn't the fact that Tarzol had spoken. It was the way he said his name, like he had always known Aaron would come. Mira ran a deep scan of the ship. All systems are stable. But there's something strange. You were unconscious for only 12 seconds, but brain activity suggests hours of memory data were written. Aaron didn't answer. He was replaying what he saw inside his head. Those visions Tarzol showed him. Ancient battles. Humans and aliens fighting side by side. Until betrayal. Then darkness. Chains. A war lost and buried under silence. I need to go back, Aaron finally said. Mira's voice turned sharp. That's not a good idea. He didn't kill me, Mira. He showed me the truth. There's something he wants me to see. After a moment of silence, Mira responded. Then I'm going with you. I've updated the interface to stay online inside the ruins. I'll guide you as long as I can. They returned to the surface. This time, the doors opened without resistance. The same purple glow lit the path ahead, as if the tomb had accepted Aaron's presence. Mira's soft voice echoed in his earpiece, steady and clear now. Energy patterns suggest this place isn't just a prison. It's alive, monitoring every step. As Aaron walked deeper, he noticed the walls shifting. The murals from before were now moving. Not like animations, but memories, living fragments of the past, locked in alien stone. One mural showed a human general shaking hands with Tarzol's kind, then stabbing him in the back. Another showed a younger Tarzol surrounded by thousands of warriors, holding a glowing orb. Aaron paused at that image. What is that? He asked. That orb is a command core, Mira replied, only used by leaders of the ancient fleets. It means Tarzol wasn't just a warrior. He was a ruler. A chill passed down Aaron's spine. Suddenly, the hallway opened into a massive chamber. High above, the ceiling was covered in sharp black crystals that shimmered with red light. At the center stood Tarzol, his eyes glowing, motionless like a statue. But he wasn't asleep. I knew you would return, Tarzol said, without turning. His voice was low but clear. You carry questions. Good. You should. Aaron stepped closer, not afraid now. What are you? I am the last, Tarzol replied. The final warrior of the Core Alliance. The one you betrayed. It wasn't me. Aaron said. Zarzul turned to face him. No, but it was your kind. You inherited their sins. Aaron clenched his fists. Then why show me the truth? Why let me live? Zarzul moved slowly, like a mountain in motion. Because I need one of you to understand, to remember. I did not sleep. I waited for someone who would come without fear. Aaron stared at him. You're not here to destroy Earth, are you? Zarzul paused. His eyes dimmed slightly. I was, he said. When I woke, I felt rage. I remembered what your people did. But then, I felt something else. The stars are shifting. There is something in the dark, older than me. Hungrier. Aaron felt his heart pound. What is it? I do not know, Zarzul said. But I hear it. It whispers between galaxies. It consumes life. I was sent to stop it, long ago. I failed. So I waited. I healed. I prepared. And now? Aaron asked. Now, I choose. The crystals above began to pulse. The entire chamber shifted. Walls split apart, revealing a massive circular device. Mira gasped in Aaron's earpiece. That's a jump ring, she said. Big enough to move a planet. But it's not active. Zarzul walked toward the ring. This was to be my escape. But I will not use it unless I know you understand. The next war is not about revenge. It's about survival. Aaron stepped forward. Then teach me. Zarzul studied him. His massive hand opened, revealing a glowing fragment, a shard of the command core. If you take this, he said, your world will change. They will hunt you, fear you. You will become the bridge, or the spark. Aaron looked at the shard. His fingers shook, but he took it. The moment he touched it, a wave of energy surged through his body. Visions of stars collapsing, of giant machines tearing planets apart, of voices crying across the universe, filled his mind. Then, silence. Aaron stood still, eyes wide. The shard pulsed in his hand. Mira's voice came back. I lost connection for a second. What just happened? Aaron turned to leave. He showed me what's coming, he said. Behind him, Zarzul spoke once more. Go. Warn your people. The galaxy is no longer safe. Aaron stepped back into his ship. As he launched away from the asteroid, he looked once more at the ancient prison behind him. It wasn't a prison anymore. It was a warning. Aaron's ship cut through deep space like a ghost, silent, unnoticed, and moving fast. The shard from Zarzul pulsed in his hand, warm and alive, like it carried its own heartbeat. Every time he closed his eyes, it showed him something. Machines ripping stars apart, planets drained of life, massive alien vessels floating in the dark with no crew, only whispers. Mira's voice came softly. You haven't spoken in hours. I'm still trying to understand what he showed me, Aaron replied. It's not just a threat. It's a warning. The galaxy doesn't know what's coming. We need answers, Mira said. There's one place that might still have them. She projected a map, a hidden system, uncharted. At its center, an abandoned research station from the old Alliance, long forgotten, drifting above a dead star. Aaron stared at the map. What's there? Data, weapons, truth, Mira replied. But it's dangerous. The last crew vanished without a trace. Aaron nodded. Set course. The journey took hours. As they reached the system, the dead star glowed like a cold red eye. Around it floated a massive station, black metal, twisted and broken in places. Lights flickered randomly, like the place was still alive, but sick. This place isn't empty, Mira whispered. Something's moving inside. They docked at one of the shattered ports. As Aaron stepped through the airlock, his boots echoed across metal floors covered in dust and dried marks, scratches, burns, and what looked like claw marks. This was a battle, he muttered. No signs of life, Mira said. But I'm detecting energy in the main data core. Aaron followed the glowing path Mira projected through his helmet. The deeper he went, the more twisted the halls became. Doors melted shut, panels torn open from the inside. Something had happened here, something violent. Finally, they reached the command center. At its heart was a floating orb of light, cracked and flickering. It was the station's eye. Mira accessed it carefully. I'm downloading what's left. As she worked, the orb flashed, and a voice filled the chamber. Static, broken, but still understandable. We opened the signal, should never have responded. Xarzul was right. Too late. Then silence. Mira's voice came quickly. I've got it. Records show this place was monitoring the edge of the galaxy. They detected something, not natural. A code. Repeating. A call. They answered it, Aaron guessed. Mira continued, yes. And then, it came. Not a ship, not a fleet, just a shadow. One by one, their systems died. Crew went missing. Others changed into something else. The AI sealed the station to contain it, but it's still here. A chill ran through Aaron. You mean, something is still alive here? Before Mira could answer, alarms blared. The lights turned red. Movement, she said. Multiple signals. Fast. Coming toward us. Aaron pulled his weapon. Get the data. I'll buy you time. He ran back through the twisted halls, heart pounding. Shadows darted across his path, figures made of broken metal and dark flesh. They hissed, moving like liquid machines. Their eyes glowed red. Aaron fired. The blast tore through one of them, but two more came. He ran, blasting open a sealed door and diving through just before it closed behind him. Mira, he shouted, do we have the data? Uploading now. Get to the ship. Aaron sprinted through the ruined station, dodging collapsing beams and broken glass. The shadows followed, never slowing. Just as he reached the dock, one of them leaped at him. He raised the shard from Xarzul. It flared. A pulse of energy shot out, blasting the creature into dust. The others froze, screeching. They fear the shard, Aaron realized. He boarded the ship and launched away from the station. It exploded behind him, fire and darkness swallowing it whole. Mira spoke softly. I got everything. And Aaron, it's worse than we thought. What did you find? He asked, breathing hard. There's a name in the old files. Not Xarzul. Something older. A race erased from every archive. They were the ones who sent the shadow. Their name was the Hollow. Aaron stared out the window at the stars. They're coming, he said. And Earth isn't ready. Aaron couldn't sleep. The ship hummed softly as it sped through the void of space, heading back toward Earth. But his mind was racing, haunted by what he had learned. The Hollow. A race older than the stars, erased from every history, every archive. Yet somehow, they still existed, and they were coming. Mira's voice cut through the darkness of the cockpit. Aaron, I've analyzed the data from the research station. The Hollow aren't just a threat. They're a virus. Not biological. Something worse. Aaron ran his hand over his face. A virus. Think of it like a parasite, Mira explained. But instead of infecting bodies, they infect everything. Minds. Technology. Entire systems. When they attack, they don't just destroy. They corrupt. They turn everything into them. Aaron sat up straight, his eyes wide. So they can take over anything. Ships. People. Yes, they can use anything as a vessel. And once they do, they take control. You can't stop them. You can't even see them. Aaron gritted his teeth. The Hollow didn't just destroy. They made everything they touched into a part of them. And they were coming for Earth. We don't have time to waste, he said. We need to warn Earth. Get the data out. But the problem is, Mira hesitated. The Hollow don't just come in ships. They have an ability. They can send out a signal, a pulse, a message, a call. Call for what? Aaron asked, his stomach tightening. They summon their army. From every corner of the galaxy, every outpost, every abandoned ship, every forgotten station. They all become theirs. They respond to the signal. And when they do, the Hollow wake. Aaron stood up. So, what can we do? We can't let them reach Earth. There's only one option left, Mira said. You need to reach the only place that might hold the key to stopping them. The old station, Aaron asked. No, not the station. There's another, something deeper, hidden even from the Hollow. What is it? Mira hesitated again. The Obsidian Vault, a place where the Ancient Alliance hid their most dangerous secrets. The Hollow may have erased their history, but they never found this place. It's deep within the galactic core. The only way to stop the Hollow is to find it before they do. Aaron's eyes narrowed. Then what are we waiting for? Mira's projection displayed the path, a dangerous route through a labyrinth of unknown space, filled with dead zones and ancient anomalies. The vault was located in a system few had ever mapped. We don't have time to waste, Aaron repeated, and with that, he set the course. Days passed as the ship sailed deeper into uncharted space. The deeper they went, the more the stars seemed to fade, as though the galaxy itself was holding its breath. The air felt heavy. Mira's scans showed nothing but emptiness ahead. And then, a warning. There's something ahead, Mira said urgently. An anomaly. Aaron checked the readouts. A massive cloud of dark energy surrounded them, blocking all sensors. The ship's hull creaked under the strain as they moved forward, and Aaron felt a growing sense of dread. This isn't right, he muttered. No, it isn't, Mira replied. It's a trap. The Hollow are here. Suddenly, the ship's lights flickered. The console buzzed. Aaron's heart raced. He glanced out the window. In the distance, he saw a shadow, a massive ship floating in the darkness. It wasn't a normal ship. It looked ancient, its form warped and twisted, as if the very metal had been reshaped by something alive. Then, a voice boomed through the comms, a hollow, unnatural sound. Aaron, you carry the shard. You carry our death. You cannot escape. The Hollow's voice. Cold, unfeeling. And it wasn't just a message, it was a warning. They knew who he was. They were already hunting him. I won't run, Aaron said, his voice steady. But I won't face them without a plan. The ship jolted violently. An energy pulse shot past them, narrowly missing the hull. Aaron gritted his teeth. They're firing at us. We're losing shields, Mira said urgently. I'm rerouting power to avoid direct hits, but we can't keep this up for long. Aaron gripped the controls. The vault was just ahead, but so was the Hollow ship, closing in fast. We have to outmaneuver them, Aaron said. Prepare the jump drive. I need a clean shot. You're insane, Mira said, her voice tinged with panic. No choice, Aaron replied. We're jumping straight into the core. With one final burst of speed, Aaron pushed the ship forward, cutting through the dark energy. He could hear the pulse of the Hollow ship behind him, growing louder, but he kept his eyes focused on the target, the dark mass of the Obsidian Vault, its location finally in sight. We're almost there, Aaron said through clenched teeth. Not fast enough, Mira said. They're almost on us. Just as the Hollow ship locked onto them, Aaron slammed the controls. The ship's jump drive activated. For a brief moment, everything went white. The ship shuddered violently as they tore through space, straight into the heart of the galactic core. And then, everything went silent. Aaron opened his eyes. They had made it. The Obsidian Vault lay before them, glowing with an ancient light. It was more magnificent than he had ever imagined. The hollow had followed them, but now they were too late. The ship hovered silently near the obsidian vault, its massive structure floating in the void like a dark, silent sentinel. The ancient, glowing symbols on its surface pulsed with a steady rhythm, and Aaron felt a strange calm wash over him. They had made it. For now, at least. "Do you feel that?" Mira's voice echoed in his ear, her tone low and cautious. "This place, it's not just a vault. It's alive." Aaron nodded, even though Mira couldn't see him. The energy radiating from the vault was unlike anything he had ever felt. There was a power here, ancient and unfathomable, like it had been waiting for centuries, for something or someone to arrive. "I've detected a way in," Mira continued. "A hidden entrance at the far side. It's sealed tight, but I can bypass it with the right clearance." Aaron didn't hesitate. "Do it. We don't have much time." As Mira worked, Aaron's mind was focused on one thing: the hollow. They were still out there, waiting, closing in fast. He could feel their presence, a weight in the air that pressed down on him. Every second counted now. The hollow had followed them here, and if they couldn't unlock the secrets of the vault, all hope would be lost. The ship shook suddenly. A pulse of energy ripped through the space around them, and Aaron heard the unmistakable hum of the hollow ship closing in. "They're here," Aaron said, his voice tight. "We need to move now." The ship's hatch opened with a hiss, and Aaron jumped out, his boots hitting the cold surface of the vault. The ground beneath his feet was solid, but the air felt different, ancient, alive. Mira's voice echoed in his helmet. "Keep moving. I've accessed the vault's core. The data you need is inside. But be careful. The hollow have already breached the outer security layers." Aaron sprinted toward the entrance, the hum of the hollow ship growing louder in the distance. Every instinct told him to run, but he had to face them. The vault held the key. If he could unlock its power, he could stop them. He reached the entrance, a massive door covered in ancient symbols. As his hand touched the surface, the symbols flared to life, glowing brighter than the stars. The door slowly slid open, revealing a long hallway that stretched deep into the heart of the vault. "Take the left path," Mira directed. "The core chamber is just ahead." Aaron followed the narrow corridor, the walls shifting as though reacting to his presence. The temperature dropped, and a soft, eerie whisper filled his ears. It wasn't coming from Mira. It was something else. The vault itself. Ahead, he saw the core. A massive sphere of light, suspended in the air. It pulsed with energy, and as Aaron stepped closer, the air around him crackled. He could feel the power of the vault, an ancient force, both terrifying and beautiful. It was the key to everything. But just as he reached for the core, a dark shadow filled the chamber. The hollow ship had arrived. From the shadows stepped figures, twisted, distorted forms of once living beings. They were not fully human, nor fully alien. They were something in between, bodies warped by the hollow's corruption. Their eyes glowed red, and they moved toward him with a deadly purpose. Aaron's heart raced. He pulled the shard from Xarzul and held it up. The moment the light touched the shard, the hollow figures stopped, recoiling as though in pain. "They fear it," Mira said, her voice barely a whisper. "The shard is their weakness." But it wouldn't be enough to stop them. Not forever. Aaron looked at the core, then back at the hollow creatures. The vault was the key. He could feel it deep inside him. If he could activate it, he could harness its power. But doing so would mean risking everything. "I have to do this," Aaron said, his voice low but steady. "Get ready." He placed the shard into a slot in the core. The moment it clicked into place, the vault erupted with light. Energy surged through Aaron's body, filling him with strength he had never known. The hollow creatures screamed, their forms writhing as the light from the core pushed them back. The ground trembled as the vault's power activated, and Aaron could feel the energy coursing through the entire system. The Hollow were being pushed back, but it wasn't just them. The entire galaxy was being affected. "It's working," Mira said, her voice full of awe. "You're turning the tide." But just as Aaron thought they were winning, a new voice echoed through the chamber, cold, dark, and familiar. "Aaron," Tharzol's voice rang out. "You have awakened the true power, but you do not understand." Aaron turned to find the massive figure of Tharzol standing at the entrance, his eyes glowing with an intensity that could burn the stars. "This power was never meant for your kind," Tharzol continued. "It is not a weapon. It is a trap." Aaron's eyes widened in horror as the vault's light grew even brighter, and the energy surged beyond control. The Hollow were not the only threat. The vault was awakening something far worse, a force far older and more dangerous than anything they had ever faced. "You have made a grave mistake," Tharzol said, his voice filled with regret. "The Hollow are not the true enemy. They are but the first wave." Aaron realized too late. The war was just beginning.